Hello, you may remember me as Sheldon Cooper, and I am here today to review a movie that I got the privilege of starring in, where I voiced the leading role. I can't wait to tell Penny, Amy, and Leonard. Home, directed by Tim Johnson, and is the 30th DreamWorks animated feature overall. So, Home tells the story of after the world destroyer Galactus, oh sorry, Gorg, not the same character at all, sarcasm, takes the home world of this alien race known as the Boovs. The Boovs are then make settle in on Earth, and they take away all the humans and put the humans in one spot to make Earth their new home. Though one member of their race, voiced by Jim Parsons, he is literally exiled from his race, and he befriends this girl, Tip, and they go on an adventure across the globe to search for Tip's long lost mother, Lucy. Special thanks to Marvel Fanboy for kindly requesting this review, and he requested I rant about Home as it's one of his least favourite DreamWorks movies. Though I can't just rant about Home just because he wants me to, I needed to be 100% honest in my reviews, and I can never promise a rant, and I don't think Home is so bad it's rant worthy. But after How to Train Your Dragon 2, from 2014 to 2015, DreamWorks would be releasing a streak of by the numbers average movies until Kung Fu Panda 3, of course, from Penguins of Madagascar and Home. But Home is still twice as good as Penguins at Madagascar. And it was the right decision to push back this movie to March 2015 when it was initially going to be released, I think, in 2014, because 2014 would have been overcrowded with 4 DreamWorks movies had that been the case. So at least Home was their one solo movie that DreamWorks had that year. Any movie from DreamWorks is a gift, but thankfully Boo Operations was a scrap. So I think that I was not interested by the idea of that movie at all. But there are elements of greatness in this movie, but for the most part, this movie was executed weakly, and is just one of DreamWorks' okay-ish movies that they would chuck in the trash and would cancel all future plans for sequels and spin-offs and TV shows. But Home still has an innocence to it, like the third act of Home kicks the shit out of the first 2 acts. It's as if the first 2 acts of this movie they felt like the Boss Baby in comparison to the third act, whereas the third act felt like it was written by the team behind How to Train Your Dragon. It is that unspeakably awesome. Every single storyline is wrapped up so beautifully, and if the entire movie was at the quality of the third act of Home, then this movie would have been one of DreamWorks' true classics, and the voice acting is so honourable from everybody. And Jim Parsons, who you will all know as Sheldon Cooper from the greatest American sitcom since Friends, Big Bang Theory. His voice work for O is so eccentric and groundbreaking that you're like, how come Jim Parsons doesn't do voice acting in animated movies as a full-time job? And even Rihanna, she was surprisingly legit wonderful at voicing Tip in this movie. And two of my favourite Rihanna movie roles now are Tip from Home and especially her role in Ocean's 8. And uh, uh, and the storyline for Tip, where she was going on this quest to reunite with her mother, who she has not seen for however long, that was the storyline that was concluded best in the third act. It's great to see DreamWorks finally do a mother and daughter story, and the mother, Lucy, voiced by Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, Jennifer Lopez. She totally knocks it out of the park, and it was perfect casting, as Jennifer Lopez is now in her 50s, whereas Rihanna is just 32. And once the mother comes into the narrative, she thankfully gets to contribute in the climax. Though the beginning and middle segments of Home are problematic as heck. DreamWorks really they didn't think the first two acts of this movie through before releasing it. O as a character. So Jim Parsons' voice acting is the saving grace of him, but the character of O, we have seen the underdog and misfit protagonist in a DreamWorks movie dozens of times in the past, and O, he's no different from any of them. I mean, he just you can see why the boobs are all to call him O, because they are just they just see him as a constant nuisance, and he just won't give them some space. So yeah, O is maybe the most unlikable of the DreamWorks underdog protagonists, and even the animation is disappointing by DreamWorks standards. You can see how technically they just rushed Home out. And the antagonist Gorg, he is one of the least developed DreamWorks villains I have ever seen, period. And he barely ever shows up in this movie. The only time you do feel that he can kill off our heroes is when O is offering the stoner to him, and his colossal tractor or combine harvester thing is coming to O and is about to crush him. And at least the one redeeming quality of his character is that the twist that he just turns out to be a starfish alien in a suit of armor who just wanted the stone and then peacefully leaves the earth for that. Now that was one of the heartfelt twists of the third act, but yeah, before that, he was one of DreamWorks' most throwaway bad guys. And why did this movie need to take place on Earth? Seriously, you could have explored more of the home planet of the boobs. Now that would have been a beyond a visual spectacle to behold. Just seeing different cities on a tour of Earth as O and Tip would go on their quest was immensely dull, and I never gave a crap about O and Tip's friendship because they have to have that shoehorned in Fallout cliche towards the finale. And this is neither a positive nor a negative, but what animal exactly was the little critter that travelled with them on their journey? I couldn't tell whether it was a hamster or cat. It looked like a combination of both. Why all celebrities only agree to be in big budget movies if they can get their own solo song that can be overplayed to death on the radio. Rihanna's songs in the soundtrack added literally no flavour to it. As so, yeah, overall, Home still remains DreamWorks' biggest wasted potential for me. As the third actor is the only part of this movie that's worth the watch. I give Home 2 stars out of 5. Meh movie. So yeah, 85% of the DreamWorks movies I still have yet to review are some of the more mediocre ones from the studio, and Home was no exception. Well, I love you guys, thank you for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Home? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe, but please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I'll see you all next time when I give my thoughts on the epic Clone Wars Season 7 on Disney+. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.